What's going on, guys? It's Deathmonk here. Today I'm going to be talking about some rather interesting updates concerning Modern Warfare 2 Beta Weekend 2. Now, as a result of Beta Weekend 1, Infinity Ward have actually made some changes or tweaks that's going to be happening more or less for Beta Weekend 2. As per their blog update on their Infinity Ward website, they've actually gone on and said, "Hello MW2 players, it's been amazing to see so many of you hopping on to Weekend 1 of our multiplayer beta on Sony platforms, and looking forward to many more of you joining us for Weekend 2 across all platforms. There's already been a fantastic amount of feedback on Reddit and social media, as well as a ton of stats collected on our site. In addition to the new maps and modes we have lined up for Weekend 2, we have also have some changes and new things we are trying that we'll be sharing with you this week. Throughout Weekend 1, we played the game, watched the game being played, read your feedback and talked to many of you. At a high level leading into Weekend 2, we fixed various crashes, addressed a few gameplay exploits, patched some map geo and lighting issues, updated progression for some gunsmith related bugs. Here are some things we have heard from us on. So minimap dot rules. So currently in the Modern Warfare 2 beta, they only show enemy player dots when a UAV is active. The design reason for this is that we do not want to punish players for firing their weapons. We also want players to actively search out the origin of a gunshot versus just travelling directly to where the dot is on the minimap. They continue to gather feedback on how the game is playing in regards to this topic. So target tracking. They've seen feedback that it's hard to track targets once you get into a firefight. They agree this is an issue and they have changed incoming to reduce muzzle smoke opacity and to increase the visibility of the muzzle flash to help engage someone who is firing at you. These changes should help with tracking your opponents in combat. They're also investigating more ways to visually differentiate enemies and friendlies outside of the standard nameplates above heads of the opposing players. They will be trying to a few changes in Weekend 2, but more on that later this week. The UI or user interface. We've seen a feedback around difficulty editing perk packages, managing loadouts and accessing the armory. They have identified some UX issues as well as some bugs. These are things that they will not be able to adjust in time for Beta Weekend 2, but they are at top of mind ahead of launch. So they're not making any changes to the user interface, however, they will be making changes come launch. Perks. They've seen very feedback on the perk package system. Some players love it and others feel it's an unnecessary departure from the original system. They feel it's a nice shake-up to how perks work and to the general progression of a match. They've also balanced the ultimate perks to be more powerful as you earn them later in the match. They'll continue testing throughout Beta Weekend 2, including drastically accelerating the earn rate of these to see how players react. Their goal remains improving the flow of all perks ahead of launch. Dead Silence is another hot topic, as many players have expressed that they would like to see it as a perk instead of a field upgrade. They believe it's important to game health that rushers will not be able to move at high speeds without consequence. Dead Silence as a field upgrade creates a balance between freedom of movement and predictability of combat. Footsteps. Footstep audio in Week 1 of the MP beta was very high, giving players long-distance directional information about enemies. For Beta Weekend 2, they have some changes coming in. They are reducing the range of footstep audio for the various player movement states, jog, sprint and tactical sprint. This will help soften the cost of moving around the map. The second change is that enemy and friendly footsteps are now distinct. This should help players better understand what's going on as things move around on the battlefield. More details to follow. And finally, slides. Sentiment around the removal of slide cancelling remains positive. They are aware of the workaround and contemplating how to handle it for Beta Weekend 2 of the beta. Additionally, they have some other slight changes for launch, which will make this movement feel a bit more fluid and snappy. Stay tuned to IW channels for more details on the changes we'll be implementing for beta ahead of Weekend 2. Crossplay beta kicks off Thursday, September 22nd at 10 AM Pacific. We'll see you there. So, basically what they're saying is they're making necessary changes to perks, footstep audio, not making any changes to the user interface, but they are making it changes come launch. Target tracking, they're making a few changes for that as well. And the minimap dot rules, it doesn't appear that they're making any changes to that. So I want to know what you guys' thoughts of this. Let me know in the comments box down below. Obviously, they are listening to us, but I'm not getting the exact responses we'd like to hear, but it is something that they are bearing in mind about. So, want to know what you guys' thoughts are. Please do leave your thoughts in the comments box down below. If you're new to the channel, please smash the subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bell so I see more videos. Thumbs up if you like to for Beta Weekend 2, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace out.